A Ukrainian drone attacked Russia's oil refinery about 1,300 kilometers from the front lines, hitting a plant that processes over 150,000 barrels of oil per day. Strike could cause significant damage. Ukraine drone attacks Russia's Tatarstan region. A Ukrainian source told Ukraine attacked the refining unit in Russia's industrialized Tatarstan province, caused a huge fire. Such attacks are intended to curtail Russia's oil revenue. Russian officials said jamming devices locked onto a Ukrainian drone attacking the refinery, which has an annual production capacity of more than 17 million tons. Pictures from the scene showed the drone hit the primary refining unit, though it did not appear to have caused serious damage. The industry source said workers, staff and security personnel were returning to the plant. A fire was extinguished within 20 minutes, according to the state news agency, adding that output had not been disrupted. The affected unit produces around a half of the plant's total annual production capacity. The refinery represents a significant proportion of Russia's refining capacity. The affected unit produces around a half of the plant's total annual production capacity. The refinery represents a significant proportion of Russia's refining capacity. Brent briefly rose above $89 a barrel for the first time since October war in the Middle East, amid concern over the Ukrainian drone attacks and the escalating tensions in the Middle East. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, reference to the Tatarstan attack, said, Kyiv's long-distance military action against Russia were important. Equally important is that the Russian fighters are receiving responses to their attacks, he said. Each time, longer-range responses. A Ukrainian source told Ukrainian-made drones had hit a Russian plant producing long-range shot attack drones as well, causing significant damage. According to media reports, in the last year that Russia was mass-producing drones at a facility in Tatarstan, Ukraine has begun striking the oil refineries of Russia, the world major oil exporter, hitting Moscow's highly lucrative trade in refined products amid extensive Russian missile strikes on Ukraine's energy grid. According to press, around 10% of Russia's refining capacity has been shut down by drone attacks. There is more demand for refined oil products than for Russian crude. Ukraine says its drone attacks on Moscow are justified because it is fighting for survival and has suffered damage to its country from Russian air attacks. Ukraine, which has been attacked by more than 4,500 Russian long-range shot drones during the 27-month-old war, regards its own drone production push as a way to attack back at a much better armed and larger enemy. Since President Vladimir Putin sent Russian forces into Ukraine in 2022, drones have played a big part in the war, either as kamikaze attackers or as eyes in the sky that guide our weaponry to kill soldiers or destroy equipment. Ukraine has carried out a series of strikes deep inside Russia meant to either undermine Russia's war machine or, as with the 2023 drone strike on the Kremlin, bring the reality of war to the Russian people. An analyst said that NATO was essentially fighting Russia in Ukraine and that the US-led alliance had helped organize attacks on Russia. The Ukrainian regime continues its terrorist activity. We and our military are working to minimize this threat and, subsequently, to eliminate it. Ukrainian sources admit Ukraine alone is responsible for the planning and execution of drone attacks in Russia. The United States says it does not support Ukrainian strikes inside Russia. Refinery attacks also hit businesses in Yelabuga and Nizhnekamsk, and some people were injured. Tatarstan's regional governor Rustam Minikhanov said 2 drones struck a dormitory on the territory of the Alabuga Special Economic Zone and at least 7 people were injured, Russian media reported.